What's up? What's up? It's a great day. Turn down my phone. Man, let me do this. Last night, I think we always have a good show for the most part because we're dialoguing about things that are needing to be talked about uh, within within the community. Hopefully, my mic is better uh, and it doesn't sound so muffled like it was last night. Very possible that's the fan. You know, shout out to the new members that that are subscribing each and every day. I really appreciate that. Um, Make sure you like and share, comment and comment. Maybe you can just put where you're from, where you're listening from. Uh, Last night we talked about men being appreciated, and they kind of tackled it from different angles. Um, and so I wanted to kind of give a recap of the conversation because for me, I enjoy talking to these gentlemen because uh, in some regard we have like minds, but in some regards we differ. What's interesting is that because we have talked to each other so many times, we don't necessarily push back as often because we actually have a way in which we understand their perspective. But I think that maybe how we push back is different than what most people probably are used to. So we don't push back in the way of, man, dude, what you saying is crazy. Like, I can't believe you said nothing like that. That's not what we do. Like, we will say something like, well, let me look at it from this perspective. Or why don't you try this idea? Or what do you think about this? Or they may say, well, I have to disagree. And here's why I disagree, right? In a professional manner, just as if we were at a boardroom. That's really what it feels like when I'm on King Talk. It feels like I'm at a boardroom meeting discussing with my homeboys, well, who have become my homeboys, practically, semi-family, right? To a degree. Well, I can say family, right? Uh, and we each have our particular perspectives and we respect each other's perspective. And we respect it so much so that we willing to stop what we're saying and listen. Now, of course, it does depend on who's on the panel, but typically the way that it operates is that you're going to hear somebody. There's not going to be an interruption, and if there is an interruption, there's going to be an apology. Like we're literally we're kind of like at the stop sign, right? We're saying, okay, are you going to go or should I go? And we're trying to vibe with whatever is going on. We're trying to see what that is, right? And so I like that about the show. And so last night's conversation uh, about appreciating men, and I think that I would say for me, I cannot recall ever being not appreciated. And I'm gonna speak from my perspective. Obviously, I put in work into my relationships. I make sure that the woman that's in my life sees that I appreciate her, that I enjoy her time, that I enjoy being around her uh, all the time. Right? Now, don't get me wrong. Have I failed in that before? Yes, I have failed in not showing the appreciation that was needed. I have had that before. or done that before. But in the relationship that I am in now, uh, I very much make sure that uh, that Kendra knows that what she does for me is a big deal, right? Like one of the things that she does is she does my kid's hair, right? And she takes out time to do that, and I tell her thank you, right? Or if she said if I do something for her and she says thank you, I appreciate that she said thank you, right? That's it's so many people that are so focused on did you buy me this? Did you take me this place? Uh, are you uh, are you are you doing something that seems to be connected monetarily uh, to show me that you value me? Value is not just about money. It is not about just protection. Value is several things. All those things kind of wrapped in together. So don't be in a relationship if you're not appreciated. Matter of fact, before you get out the relationship, you need to communicate with that individual. Communicate with that individual and say, you know what, I don't feel valued. And men have a hard time explaining that to women because women will, not all, but most women will say, you being soft, you being sensitive. Well, I'm being soft and I'm being sensitive. What's wrong with that? If I'm communicating to you how it is that I feel, and you should be able to say, you know what? Let me fall back. Let me assess. Is what it is that I'm saying or doing affecting this person in a negative way? Do they have um, do they have some validity to what it is that they're saying? So if the guy is saying, we're coming from the guy's perspective, if I say to you that I don't feel appreciated, then I need to also give you an example of how I don't feel appreciated. So, for example, I don't know, I may have gotten your car washed. Did you tell me thank you? Okay, or I may have just sat down and watched the movie with you. Babe, I appreciate you watching the movie with me. Right? So, those are ways in which to give appreciation from the guys that I know. I'm just anecdotally, the guys that I know are just wanting to be validated and saying that you need me. This is how I see that you need me. You saying thank you for what it is that I do for you. You talk about Father's Day. Like Father's Day for most men is a holiday in which is not that important. It's interesting. This was interesting to me that at churches that talk about that men are important, that men are vital parts of the congregation and a vital part of the family. Most churches that I've ever been a part of or that I've seen do not show as much appreciation for their fathers on Father's Day as they do on Mother's Day. Like they go all out. They go all out on Mother's Day. There's pictures to be taken. Uh, there is, as 50 said, y'all want they have commercials to give them diamonds, to give them extravagant things, right? Whereas they'll want the man in the in commercials. I did segue in commercials. The man needs to get tools to go do some work, right? In churches, though, back to churches. You churches out there need to spend more time in developing your system that honors men, not cater, but definitely honors men. Okay. How will you do that? Father's Day should be a big deal. Should be a major deal because we are the protectors and the providers most oftentimes, and we are the ones that are building the legacy. We are the ones that's supposed to have the plan in which we to get to where we need to get to. I mean, scripture is very clear. It talks about how The man needs to be getting instructions from God. So it's God, man, uh, woman, and children. So how is it that you honor the woman, but you don't honor the man just as much? Okay, so that's one of the things that I was thinking of. I just thought about that I didn't say on the show. That men are very much undervalued, and in media, we are very much, you know, second class citizens, third class citizens, because when we are saying something, and no matter what it is that we say, and it all comes down to, well, I didn't like how you said it, so then therefore you don't have any validity to what the statement in which you made. No, like what I said, there is a validation in what I said. Did I say it incorrectly, or was there a tone to it that you didn't like? Possibly. Okay, but men typically are aggressive. We have bass in our voice, right? I had one of my kids. He thinks that I'm yelling at him because I speak with a bass in my voice, right? And he probably learned that because he used to get in trouble all the time, and he's thinking because I'm talking to him, I'm yelling. I don't know what the case may be. But additionally, men are important. Like y'all, we say this. So give them that day. Give them their flowers. There's a statement about men only get flowers on their deathbed, right? Uh, I can say that, when I was in the hospital when I was younger, that people did bring me flowers. You know, I can say that I have had flowers before. Uh, and then we segue to one of the conversations: are we more appreciated abroad, or men in this case, black men, are they more appreciated overseas? And in some regard, they may be. I mean, I'm not privy to uh, all the countries. I'll speak anecdotally. When I went to India, I mean, people looked at me all the time. Right? There were women that were interested in me, but they didn't necessarily approach me because of uh, the where we were, right? Uh, and also for me, I was scared out of my mind. Didn't want to talk to anybody in the foreign country because I didn't know what they had, and so I didn't want to be a part of that. So I made sure that I did not go into any situation trying to mess with any woman over there. It was hard, but I was like, I, I value my life more uh, than trying to go talk to any of these women, or um, be intimate with any of these women. So, but I would say from my personal experience, uh, they wanted me, yes, but I was also different than anybody there. So I stood out. I stood out, right? And I'm short, but I stood out. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you have more of an option. Yeah, you have more options. However, this is the thing about having more options. When an individual has a lot of options, it makes it more challenging to figure out who you want to be with long term. And so that goes into the next point about when you have a bag, or when you're getting to the bag, is it harder to find a person that's really in it for you? Hmm. I would say yes. I would say it's hard because the reason why I would say that it's hard is because, as I said on the show last night, Lapeef Network King Talk, I said there are two different people in my estimation that you're getting. The woman that you get when you're coming up to get the bag is a different woman. You will meet a different type of woman when the building is already made. She didn't have any work, that she didn't put in any work or see your work or see the type of person that you are in all different type of elements. That's why it's important to me for a guy to be trying to find that woman, that wife, as he's building his kingdom, because she gets to see what you look like when you're building the building, and she's a part of it. And he's, in my opinion, he's more loyal to her. I don't have any studies or statistics on that, but a man that has built with a woman is more likely to stay with her. What the funk is this? Says India is a different monster, and you right to not date there. The men there don't play about black men sleeping with they women. That's the truth, but they wouldn't have known. I said, I say it hard to find that in the USA versus to find a woman who rocks with you for being you. You better off and value more outside USA versus women. Maybe so, but what I'm saying, but it's still hard. Like, you're gonna go to another country, and you're valued higher. That means you have more people to choose from. How do you make the decision of which one is in it for you? Okay, that's the thing. So once you have it, it's a different person. So it's important for you as an individual to, let's say that you already made it. Okay. So once you have made it and you have the bag and you're not married, one of the things that you're going to have to do is to say, do you actually want to be married? And you probably would be better off finding somebody in your network of friends, and asking family members or co-workers or whatever it may be to put you with somebody that can connect with you, as opposed to dating app, just out here going to date, just being sporadic. Right. I honestly think that used to be the case, but I understand your point. Do you want to discuss this and I can come up? Absolutely. Let's see. Let me see. You're gonna have to cam up. Mm-hmm. We could discuss for a little bit. Where you at? What the phone? Let's see. It didn't go in. Okay, so it's on. So I think it's important for men to, let's say they, to absolutely have a plan in mind and get to the bag. But once you get to the bag and you're saying now you want to be married, now how do you now navigate through the waters of saying which one of these women is in it for me and not just my bag? That's going to be a challenge. That's going to be a challenge. It is a challenge. I mean, like Kevin Durant type dude. I mean, he's still single from what I gather. James Harden, these dudes are still single, right? And how will they be able to navigate who it is that wants them for them? Or do they even want to be married? I don't know. You look at LeBron James, you look at Kobe Bryant, you look at Steph Curry, you look at Michael Jordan. Uh, I want to say Shaq, but I'm not sure. But anyway, these individuals had their woman early. They got married early, right? And they were able, and the women are there with them as they move up. Except Shaq. Shaq even said himself that he regret what it is that he did, because he had everything that he needed in the woman that he chose, and he messed it up. But that's rare, that a woman that helped a man build, that he's going to leave her. So that's what I say. But if you already have the building built, then you want to get into the circle of friends and talk to them about who is somebody that would value you for you, and have somebody probably set you up, possibly. And then you go to once you start dating, if you have kids, when is the time to let your kids meet that person? Well, for me, I think it needs to be done. If you're talking about seriously, it need to pay attention to who that person is. It's all depending on who, like, what's the connection between the two of you. Are y'all serious about going towards marriage, or y'all just talking just to be talking? If y'all talking just to be talking, then there's no reason why they should be meeting your kids. But if there is a connection and you see, I would say somewhere after, I would say 2 to 3 months, right? You see a connection, you see that this is a person that could be the one. Now you need to introduce them to your kids, because you don't want to spend no more time with them than that if the kids are not going to like them, or you're not, or they don't like your kids, or they can't interact with them well, and X, Y, and Z. So we got somebody coming to the stage. We never met before, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see how this goes. But and I appreciate you joining the show, Mr. What the Funk is this? How you doing,
How
sir?
you doing? We twinning it up today, apparently. So
For sure. How you doing?
very, very good. We're sitting here at 100-degree weather here in Germany. So it's been a tough day, but everything's been great. Had a great Father's Day. I hope you did as well.
Yeah,
And
happy Father's Day.
yeah, let's talk about this, because I've traveled since my 20s. And one thing that I've always said that I think a lot of Black men need to do before they even settle down is travel outside of the USA, not as a tourist to like be hooking up, but to actually and get engulfed in other cultures outside the Black culture of America. Most of my father culture, most of my man culture, I learned from being with other groups of men who were in third world countries or in poverty. And you kind of see what it is to be a man once you're not surrounded by the distractions of America. I say the same thing about dating. I think you actually develop your personality and what it is that you stand on and what it is that you are willing to allow women to do, and kind of let go of your pride and ego once you kind of get out the hip hop mentality of America. So dating women outside of America, and it means Black women, and Black women are global. There's Black women in all countries. So it's not like you have to like, well, I'm dating white. It means that once you date outside of America and get in a situation where you are valued as a Black man, as just normally who you are, not some extra athlete, not because you're some musician, but just because you are who you are, just, a well-spoken Black man who's not the stereotypical thing of what they expect to see. You really get to, I think, discover your worth. It's hard to say what your worth is when it's not validated by women, and that's unfortunate. But once you get your worth validated by other women, and you see, like, and they let you know how different you are, that really kind of gives you the armor that you need for your self-confidence. Not a facade, but actually like, yo, you know that you're valuable.
So you think that the confidence comes from a woman giving you validation? Is that
no, it's a combination of both. I believe that you can have confidence, but if you don't have any, if it hasn't been reciprocated, it's kind of hard to truly believe in it. And you can have all the confidence in the world, and some women call that delusion. And we see that in other women will say, well, you're being delusional. When, let's say you're a coder and you're into coding in America as a Black man, and you're in, let's say, Houston, Texas, you do okay, but it's not something that's truly valued. But let's say you take that same skill set and you go to Indonesia, you go to Japan, you go to Korea, where you're teaching English and doing coding. All of a sudden, like, the same intricate things that you are way more valuable in that new place. And that's where you can build that, like, hey, yeah, I am someone valuable in your 20s. And then when it's time for you to settle down, you know who you are as a man. I think it's better that way.
okay? I got what you're saying. So you're really saying just go where you're valued.
Absolutely.
Go where you're valued the most. Therefore, you have the most options as well, I would assume, depending on what depends. I mean, not more, but a high quality. I say you have
Yes. Yeah. You don't just pick. I think a lot of men pick what's given to them. And I think once you had options at an early age and you discovered your value, you know how to discern bad, low hanging fruit. You know how to not put yourself in situations that aren't good for you. And I think there's a lot of men who make the mistake of once they discover their value, that they deal with the wrong woman who ruins their path.
Mm. So let me ask you this. So
Yes.
so the conversation we was having last night was about um, men that are getting to their bag have a hard time finding the one. What's your thought on that? The men that's getting to the bag will have
Yeah,
a
you're
hard time finding the one.
yes, you're absolutely right. I think if I want to take it and if I want to use my experience, when I was stacking money bartending and just going place to place and bartending all over America and the world, I had an RV at 20. I had an RV at 25. My grandpa gave me this idea. And he's like, you're wasting money getting like every time you go to a new city and getting in a new apartment and doing all this stuff. He's like, why don't you just take my RV and like I'll sell it to you and you just keep going with you and just get that. And he gave me all the information about how to use it. And I started saving so much money. And I was like, wait a minute. I was working more because I wasn't going into apartments and like chilling out. I was actually just like, man, I'd rather just be at the job and do 6 days a week and spend the 7 day, and smoke up and chill. And then like I was stacking money, but I wouldn't find women the way that I used to before that. But I realized that wasn't important. When you're on your purpose to really get the bag, it's very difficult to find that one that rocks with you. Most people want to see the art after it's created, not the process of the art. Most people don't want to see you in your like with the paint all over the place, looking all crazy, and your beard's not, combed out. I'm being jealous. I can't grow a beard, but they don't want to see that process. They want to see when it's already done. Like, oh yeah, oh wow, then they want to celebrate the whole process. Most people aren't interested in that. And I think that's the same analogy that happens with a lot of men when they're on their purpose. Most people don't want to see it. They just want to see the end result.
So that means that it's going to be difficult once you get the bag then because you have more options. Or
Yes, it's difficult. It's difficult to cipher out the good because that now that you have the options, it's just like the pretty one, the one who's super sexy at an early age. There's too many ain't shit men versus the good men who are like trying to slide in the DM and get her attention, that a lot of times it's hard for her to like pick the right one. I think it's the same thing for men. Once you get the money or once you find your position in life where you're truly comfortable and you can, prosper, it's very difficult to find that one to rock with.
absolutely. That's why, in my estimation and what I've seen and also been a part of, is that in my my late wife Jen, I didn't have much.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have much of anything at all, really, when we started dating. But I did have a vision. I had a vision, and I was actually doing the things that it took to get to my vision, right?
Yeah,
And
you had
so,
a vision, not a dream. Huge difference.
oh yeah, nah.
Because niggas sell dreams.
Listen, if you talk to anybody that's ever known me, I don't do dreams type stuff. I say this is my plan, this is my vision, this is what I'm working on, this is how I'm trying to get to it, right? Uh, and most dudes, I would say, don't necessarily rock with a vision. So, like, if you don't have a vision laid out and how you're trying to get to it, like, for example, for me, I have an agenda that I write down every day just about and how I'm going to get to. I don't necessarily how I'm going to get to it, but I write down what I'm going to do, right? And most of the time I get to those things. And so it just helps me be more productive and successful because every step is a step to you're getting to your goal, right? And so she saw that, right? And now she passed, and now I'm in a new relationship. I'm not where I thought I was going to be, but
Mm-hmm.
she's still rocking with me. Why? Because I've set up and told her and showed her what my vision is, even though I'm not there yet, right? But it takes a
Yeah.
special type of woman, and it's not easy to find. It's not, what I'm saying? It's not easy to find. But why would greatness be easy to find? It takes
Well,
work. It takes
okay.
work to find greatness.
I think most men in your position, and even men in my age, because I'm 40 years old, I think
Okay.
once you get the bag, it's hard to say that you're looking for greatness again once you kind of already, you're supposed to want it, but there's a lot of, I think our sexual libido, or maybe making up for the past years when we didn't do all the crazy fun stuff, focusing on the bag. Now we're getting the options, and it's hard to ignore those like when a woman really puts her eyes on you, it's very difficult to say no, and
Facts.
that comes with power, that comes with skill, but still, there's some. I think women look way back. Like, I mean, I remember the '90s and women looked great back then. But I think as far as like just sexual attraction, like the lust demon in your head, women now are intriguing that way more than any in the history of mankind. Like where you see the cheeks, you see the curves, they doing the finesse and the fingernails. Like, it's very difficult to pick great when there's so much candy on the floor.
So much. Okay, good analogy. That's what I'm saying. So
Career bartender. I'm full of I make up analogies on the spot.
Yeah. So then that's why. So that's where, in my estimation, that we should not be teaching young dudes to go get your bag, then choose your woman. Because once you get the money, there's so many options, and you wasn't focusing on no woman. Now you have many types of women that are at your, I won't say disposal, but you have more options because women are looking for the dude that has the money, so to speak, right?
And looking for the dude that has stability.
Correct. And so now you are at the candies. You're at I put it like this: you are a 5-star recruit.
Okay.
And so all these colleges want you. So now you put in all of this work to say, now which college do I got to commit to? Right. Whereas some people, if the college can see your talent when you're in the 9th, 10th grade, right? Now, and that's up to you. Which one do you want? Do you want to go ahead and rock with the one that sees your potential now? Or do you want to wait till you become a 5-star recruit and now you have every D1 school coming at you, right? Like, which one do you want? That's the thing, right?
And you've seen the movie He Got Game, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which of the colleges are bringing you those 2 naked white girls in the bedroom when you walk in, and all of a sudden, that's a lot of our temptation. And I think that temptation is what ruins a lot of young men on the come up, and also ruins a lot of older men that I see in my age bracket. I see a lot of men who come fresh out of a divorce, or for whatever reason, they find their way, and now they are knee deep in the 25-year-olds.
Yeah.
And they can't really get a woman who's near their age bracket and knows how to be a muse so they can continue and keep evolving. I think a lot of men, once they get it, they don't really think about evolving anymore. They're just like, I'm just going to wallow in this because it's fun, even though it's not good for you. I think that's where we got to find the balance.
Yes, there's definitely. That's why it's like, what is your goal, right? You can't complain about women when your goals are not solid.
Okay, so let me ask you this question then. Let's turn it around, because you just came from your wife passing.
Yeah.
What is the age bracket that you like to date?
Well, I have somebody that I'm dating right now.
Okay. So, all right.
So my age, when I was thinking, right, when I was thinking about dating, my age was around like 35 to maybe 45. I'm 43.
Okay, now that sounds nice, but before you got your lady, did you ever have women in their 20s putting moves on you?
No, because I'm gonna tell you why. Probably the case. Okay. I mean, I work from home, so I don't get out a lot.
Okay.
Where you probably see me is at church. Now there was one that I could have probably hollered at, but I talked to my partner. He was like, "Dude, don't mess with anybody in their 20s." Right? This is what he said to me.
Why did he say that?
He said because one, they could get clingy. Also, another one is if you're not trying to marry them, right? That's not one you want to mess with. And also you don't really have much in common with them.
Okay.
So those were the three that I remember. And he was talking about like, listen, it's happening to me right now. He was like,
Okay.
I'm messing with a 25-year-old and I can't get out because I didn't
It's a Venus flytrap, right? Stuck
yeah.
in.
So right. So for me, I don't even know if I went. I said 45, but it was definitely. My mind was like, got to be under 43, right? I wanted somebody younger, not somebody older. I don't know why. I can't explain it for the life of me. And I even went on a date with somebody that was older than me, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I understand. I was like, nah, I even went on a date thinking it just, but I was just trying to see was it just me?
Mm-hmm.
Or could I move past just this number, right? And so it was just a difference. So I said for me, the person that was around my age, it just seemed to work for me because we kind of grew up in the same space in era. So we have a little bit more in common in that regard, you know. And so age wise, 30, and I had talked to a person that was like 35, right? But it felt like something was missing. I'm an intellectual, bro.
Okay.
Right? And maybe it was just her that wasn't as intellectual as I. Like she was not mentally stimulating to me. I'm not saying that's all 35-year-olds, right? That's not what I'm saying. But that's the case as it was for me.
I've kind of found that with a lot of women, they kind of follow the same blueprint, especially in our community. And
Okay.
I've seen the same. I've been on dates with a woman that's 42 and a woman that's 32, and like it'll sometimes be the same mentality as a girl who's 26, like fresh out of college. And I'm like, you're supposed to be more adult than this. You're
Mm.
supposed to be more grown than this. And she's what? Do you watch the Real Housewives? And I'm looking at like, woman, I'm a man. Like, what do you think I watch the Real House? Like, but I think that
Hey, I know. Listen, I watch it now because my girl watch it, but it wasn't something that I was.
man, where's your man? I need a TLA sound effect. Like, come on, bruh. You watching the
Listen,
Housewives?
it's an opportunity to chill with my lady, bro. Like,
Okay.
it's not something I watch in my pastime, but it gives me an opportunity to watch something she enjoys. That's a part of me the appreciation part. Like we don't always have to do something that I like to do. Like I'm
Okay.
watching it and I'm looking at it and I observe things. And so I feel like I can learn from any particular show that I may
Okay.
watch. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm looking through the lens of spending time with her and also at the same time, what can I take from this that may be valuable to me, especially since I do a lot of shows, right? I do King Talk. So
Mhm.
for me, it's a win-win. I'm able to see what it looks like that's not in my circle, and
Okay.
I can be able to talk about it on a podcast, and I also get to connect with my lady.
No, you're right. I used to do that when I was bartending. I've always said it's very important to watch whatever sisters are watching. Like I was watching Sex in the City in early 2000s, and dudes were like, "Why are you watching this?" Because all the women that I bartend for watch this. Like, I need to be able to see how it's money. So I get it. I've just recently been having women want to have me watch P Valley with them, and I'm like, the dude with the no, I think that's too much. But you are right. It is important to do things with your lady that is outside your box, and plus, it's really great to kind of. So yeah, I won't take your man card, but
Hey, there's no way
don't
you can take it, bro. Hey, listen,
you like.
for sure.
But but this is the thing that's also in this space. A lot of men will be all like, "Oh, you a simp," and it's like, no, you're trying to connect and vibe with your woman, and whatever it is that your woman likes to do, and you can get in your comfort zone with her. I think it's smart to join her there. Maybe you like to watch sports. Maybe you like to watch animal documentaries. Sometimes you want to watch them alone, but sometimes it's great to have somebody with you and you to, bounce like. And even if she's not truly into it, it's nice to have someone who bounce that off with you. So whatever you want from your woman, sometimes it's good that you do the exact same thing. So that's smart that you do that.
Oh yeah, listen, man. I mean, if I wanted to change the channel, she wouldn't be opposed to it. It's not like she's making me watch something. This is the thing, man. Dudes right now don't understand what a king is. A king listens to his queen. If you're familiar with scripture, when you may or may not be, but nevertheless, when Jesus was getting tried, the king was like, who are you? He's talking to Jesus at this time. And then his wife comes over and said, listen, man, and I can't remember the story, but she said something to him about Jesus. And he listens to his wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes, you chose her as your wife because you thought that she gave great counsel.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what these dudes talking about when they're thinking that yes, you may have the final say, but why wouldn't it make more sense to ask her what she thinks?
Yeah, and women have an intuition that we don't. I've always said that it's very important, especially when I was working in restaurants, or let's say you're a criminal, that you have women who are on your team because they get the pillow talk. They sense that energy if me and you are having a meeting and I have my lady with, she'll feel that maybe you got some ill intentions for me that I'm not picking up. I think it's truly important. It's the truth. It is.
I know my girl. She just talked to me about this the other day.
Did she? Yes. I swear, women. I will listen to the intuitions of women and my dog more than anything. Like if I have my dog and like somebody comes near my kids and my dog is like getting weird, I'm like, well, it was nice knowing you, Mr. Whoever you are. I'm never like you didn't pass my dog test. I'm sorry. Like kids, let's go. And I legitimately walk away. Yeah. I do the same thing with women where it's like you probably don't know this. I study Tao and other things because I'm a whole, weirdo when it comes to this bartending shit. But the analogy is the man is the dragon and the woman is the tiger. And the tiger is on the ground and surveys and makes the nest and does everything, as far as like building that. And she into it. And the dragon's in the air, kind of like looking, surveying, and, making sure everything's a big picture. And they say that the best relationship is not that the man is the dragon and the woman's the tiger, or the woman's the dragon and the man's the tiger. The best relationship is that it's interchangeable, and that there's different situations at different times where the man has to get down on the ground level, hunker down, and just like make sure the nest is straight, while the woman can relax and look at the big picture. And there's certain situations where the man has to flip that. So I think it's really, and I would love to hear the story of. I would love to hear the story of what your lady kind of picked up or what she said to you about this situation that you're talking about.
Well, she was just telling me about, there's people that may not be for me.
And has she done that with anybody in your friend circle that you really had to like?
Well, I can't say all of that. I can't say all of that, right? Okay. I can just say that she's able to pick up on things that I definitely, when she said it, I was like, okay, and I can understand what you're saying. Like I don't have a rebuttal, right? I'm saying I see what I have an idea of what you're saying. I don't know if to be true or not, but I'm not going to dismiss it. I'm definitely going to walk a little bit differently now that I hear what you're saying, because I've trusted what you said before, right? Like I've listened to the things that you said before. Right. But I'm also I'm the dude that's wanting a woman that's got my blind side. So why would what does she have to gain to tell me? I'm thinking like that, right? Because I'm thinking that we teammates, right? Yes. I mean, I'm the captain, but we're teammates, right?
Yeah.
For those that need that understanding, right? Because some people understand when I say teammates, right? Right. that if she got my back, if she got my blind side, if I trust her, then I know she got my blind side. And so if I trust her enough to say that she got my blind side, why wouldn't I listen to what it is that she's saying? Right. And so what I'm seeing is
for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm saying is that when I'm doing these panels on King Talk or just talking to certain dudes, uh, they think that they supposed to have everything from a woman without them doing much. And then the woman that's struggling also seems to think that she doesn't have to do much in order to be with the man that she wants. And it doesn't work that way, right? It's in the analogy that I continue to give to women. I said, listen, and people have said it like this: you get who you qualify for. So I look at it like this: in college, if you're trying to get into college, right, and let's say it's Harvard, top of the line, you have to have a certain type of grades, criteria. They have requirements to get in there. You don't go up to them and say, you know what, I don't like your requirements. You need to bring them down so that I can get in. But that's what certain women are currently doing, is that they're bothered that a man is saying, I want you to do X, Y, and Z in order to be in a relationship with me. And or for example, one man says you need to lose weight. You're overweight.
Mm-hmm.
They say, no, you need to accept me for where I'm at. Dude's like, you're not even working on trying to lose weight, right? So why do I need to change a standard that's actually beneficial to you and to us? If you're a heavy lady, you're gonna have much more of a difficult time even getting pregnant.
And I keep it 100. Women that are heavier, they just have a different temperament. And and don't get me twisted, there's some skinny, crazy women out there, but I think that men can deal with the emotions and the temper of an in shape woman better than an overweight woman. Meaning that when you weigh my height, I mean, when you weigh what I weigh at a lower height, and when you get angry, like women always say, like a real man should be able to like call. Like, no, you can't. Do you know how hard it is to restrain an angry woman? It's damn near impossible.
Impossible.
And everyone's like, oh, well, you should never hit a woman. I'm like, listen, I've been in restaurants all my life. I've seen belligerent big women. It's terrifying. It is. There's not much you can do with it. You can't get help from nobody. They loud. They got that extra weight on their throat, and it sounds scary. They get hot. They get high pitch and bass baritone at the same time. Listen, when a woman is a little bit where her weight is supposed to be, I think a lot of that stress and a lot of that anger kind of glides off of them. And I've seen that women, when they are already in their femininity, they don't get triggered by the stupid shit. They don't get triggered by the things that you possibly accidentally said wrong. But the women that hold on to those insecurities and hold on to that weight, they will go 0 to 100 real quick.
Interesting take. Well, I'm finna get ready to run, bro. I gotta go finish up some things, man. It's been good talking to you. What the fuck is? You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming up, bro.
Not a problem, Mr. Humble Dad. I hope you had an awesome. I hope you got something better than a necktie and some socks.
Well, I did not. I mean, you know, it's not at that level just yet. But I did. Okay. Oh no, I do have something coming. I take that back. I do have something nice coming. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I do. Let me fall back. I have to remember, because if she watches, she's gonna be like, "Oh no!" Like,
oh, you don't remember? I'm glad you saved.
I do remember. Yeah.
Okay.
I got something coming that's really good, man.
All right, man.
Oh yeah, and then my kids, man, we went to go play Top Golf. We went to Top Golf and hung out. You know what I'm saying?
Top Golf.
Top Golf. Yeah, it's a little place. It's a place where you just go. It's an extreme putt, so to speak. You hit the ball, you have to hit into a hole that's like, I don't know, it's probably 10 feet diameter. And they go.
I'll tell you what's really fun. So, try frisbee golf.
Yeah, I heard of that. Yeah, I got a partner that
Yo,
does that.
frisbee golf is lit. I can't. My kids are my daughter's 5, my son's 2. But as soon as they get old enough, I'm making my own course here. Like we're gonna do it. It's so much fun.
That's what's up. Well, it was good to talk
All
to
right,
you,
man.
bro. Until next time.
Hey, awesome.
Absolutely. You have a good one. Well, that concludes this episode of recap of Lapeef King Talk. For real, for real. Hey, it was good talking to him, man. I need to do some of this more often, kind of try to be regular on this. As y'all know, your boy finished up his defense of his dissertation. That's what the DR is in front of the HD is, for those that don't know. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel, comment, and let me know where you're looking at this from, listening to this from. Additionally, go over to humbledad.life, pick you up some merch for you, or if you want to get it for a dad, do so. And until next time, we out here. Deuces.